80s, 90s, Romania versus the United States of America.
A combination of words that nobody has ever said until now.
Yeah. Well, take away the Romania, you still got the communist country, heavily influenced by Russia. So it's kind of a Cold War era conversation, right?
Yeah, I would say, but yeah, you're right. You're partially right, but I think the Cold War was mostly um, happening uh, between Russia and US. So I think Romania was maybe we thought we are big in this war, but we were not. Let's be honest.
All right. All right.
there is there is always the conspiracy theory, and I love it. And it's happening. Maybe you heard the election story from Romania these days, because there is always the conspiracy theories that we are actually the most important country in the world. That no, everybody is just not giving us um, the right attention. It's like this right extreme speech, which is winning, like this extreme nationalism, saying that we are actually the country that God chose. And
So basically, they're saying if you vote for us, then everybody else will see what a great country we are and all that kind of nonsense.
and
Sure.
and please try to guess what's the slogan that they copied.
Oh, no, not make
Yeah,
Romania great.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, no.
They actually
That's
have the
terrible.
hats. They actually
Do they
have the
really?
red hats. Yeah,
That's terrible.
yeah.
They're like, it worked in the US, so
I
clearly it's
mean,
going to work here. Come
I
on.
mean.
They got the hats. That's bad.
Yeah, yeah. History, the worst part of history is that it is repeating itself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an unfortunate aspect of it.
Talking about history, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Um, I think why we do this, we have tried to explain last time in our episode, in our discussion, but I think it's even, it makes sense that we are just spending some words in this direction. And I will start if that's okay for you. We are coming from two extreme different worlds. So when I say extreme, we grasp we scratched the surface last time in our discussion, and we realized how far away we were from each other. And I think this comparison between two kids, because at the end, I think we are both in that. I would not say like really kids, but in the young, in the period when you are young and easy influenceable. And I think this comparison really makes sense. And I think it's going to be fun for both of us, and most probably fun for whomever can identify with mine or your experiences.
There you go. Yeah, well, I think so too. So I mentioned this before. My vision of Romania back then would be like everything's very gray, that communist influence where like we all assumed anything east of Germany was gray and there's no color to anything. And all the buildings are these cement buildings, which is a huge contrast to the US, especially in the 80s and 90s, because everything was fluorescent, right? So you had lots of neons and bright pinks and bright greens. Like, so it was like extreme color in the US. So not only just the natural like contrast, but just the way everything was being presented. But I'm sure it wasn't all gray, right? You guys had some color there.
So I think the what made it really great, at least for us or for me in my childhood, was that not a lot of people had color televisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, but everything that we have seen from the country was gray. Um, but yeah, it had I must say it had a kind of a grayish, and I'm not really able to explain it. But there are some patterns which are coming into my mind when I think about that time. Um, there are, for example, I come from a small village near a big city, and of course, everyone was working in the same industry. Not in the same, but everyone was working in the industry. But they all had this. I do remember them. Everyone had the same blue working costumes, like the sad blue, dark blue,
Mm.
and everyone was wearing the same clothes and everything. And there was a moment in which they have introduced the standard haircuts. So we were not that far away from North Korea,